Well, Libra, I'm back again. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. It's the last month, December 2017, leading up to Christmas. So an early Merry Christmas to you, because I won't be back till January with your 2018 forecast. And here we have it, a very, very powerful chart finishing off the year for a few good reasons. The first one, as you can see here, is the presence of Mars in your sun sign. And there, as the month commences, we see here December 1st, pardon me, that very powerful opposition with the moon having just crossed over the conjunction of Uranus in your relationship sector with that, what we call an applying opposition between Mars and Uranus here. That is very, very volatile in terms of your relationships, with the moon in the 8th house of sexuality and shared resources during the first few days leading up to the full moon. Can make your first few days of December explosive. Here we see the full moon as the moon moves into the sign of Gemini, right opposite this cluster of planets, what we call a stellium, in your 3rd house. And I'm going to focus on this part of your horoscope for a few minutes this month. Firstly, because some interesting things are happening here. Number one, you've got a retrogression of Mercury here. Just as that full moon is taking place, you see the stationary position of Mercury, close proximity to Saturn. Both very friendly planets to you. So this excites Mercury, but spins it into a regressive revisionary phase for most of the month, up until just the day before Christmas, if not Christmas itself. It's still going to be somewhat slow in motion. The 3rd house is your mind and your thinking. It's contractual, it's short travels, but let's just say, for argument's sake, this is your superficial mind. In some ways it's a creative element. Having Saturn here for a couple of years might have put the brakes on that. It might have made you second guess your communication, the way you're interacting with others. And therefore, the other big thing I want to talk about is the transit of this planet out of this sector later in the month. Still got a bit to go here. You can see here around the 5th, career issues very nicely trined by Jupiter. Down here, a day earlier, there it is there, Neptune, Jupiter, and here we have the Neptune-Jupiter trine. This is called a grand trine, from the finance to work and workplace activities zone. So that's a very nice combination there, bringing with it some opportunities in your professional experience. Here, the other planet to look out for, while all of this stuff's happening in your 3rd house, is this transit of Mars in the sun sign out of there into the 2nd house to eventually make contact with expansive Jupiter in your finance sector. There's a bit of a square there, shows you may be out of step with some of the people you're doing business with at that time. This is your contacts. The 11th house is your networking abilities. Don't be overconfident at this time, because that could present some problems. And especially here when we see Mars also moving into this area, but keep an eye out here after the 13th and 14th. The moon is going to come into this financial sector of your horoscope, make contact with this very powerful conjunction. That's going to take a while longer, but the moon and Mars combo is definitely going to trigger some reaction, some impulse in your finances, in your spending, right about there. Here we see this 2nd house of money, moon, Mars, and Jupiter. Moon carrying the energy of Mars into Jupiter. Very speculative combination. You see this 5th house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is the speculative area. You're confident about this, maybe even a little bit cocky. You see the 3rd house, these planets here are all sextile. This karmic point here in the 5th house of speculation. But the right angle here from Mars, Jupiter and Moon is a cautionary tale. You've got to be careful, and of course you've got that retrograde Mercury here, which means your thinking may be faulty, the information you got may not be right, so please do take care while that is taking place. Here we see this important trigger, the Moon. The faster moving bodies such as the Moon and Mercury and Venus trigger these slower moving planets. Here we see the conjunction in this third house again, getting ready around the 18th, 19th for the new moon right there. So the new moon this month on the 18th and thereafter is taking place in close proximity of Saturn and Sun. Very deep deliberate thinking is going to be taking place, and that is leading up to this Mercury that's exhausting its retrograde motion and ready to move forward. You're going to be ready after some very deep and deliberate thinking, which we hope you're going to do before rushing madly into the financial aspects of your life, the what we would say the speculative area of your life. And that happens just after that new moon. But on the 20th, take a look. This is the good news that I was trying to build up to. A bit of an intensity there in your domestic life, Moon and Pluto combining, and then Saturn moves out of this area around the 20th, paving the way for you to clarify your thinking, your contracts. Sun moves there as well around the 21st. There's the Mercury stationary there on the 22nd, ready to move forward, with also this heavy burden of the Sun and Saturn in the domestic area. Much of the energy shifting there in the latter part of the month, as you can see, with Venus also following suit and bringing all your attention to family matters, which makes sense on the 25th of December. The moon is back up here, showing more congenial relationships up to about the 27th, when it hits that very excitable Uranus conjunction in square to these areas in your fourth house, indicating some troubles on the home front, maybe due to the excitability, unforeseen changes leading up to the very end of the month. Again, all domestically related and relationship related as this moon moves past that sector. Shared resources is the 8th house station of the moon up to the 31st, and then a final conclusion to the month and the year with the moon moving into the nice open space of the 9th house, long distance travels, education, higher mind, with Mars also moving into the closer conjunction of Jupiter, giving you a sense of bigger and better things for the coming year, which we're going to talk about when I come back early in January. Hoping to see you then. In the meantime, do have a Merry Christmas, and don't forget to stop in at my site, got to give it a plug, astrology.com.au, for more on this, the month, the day, the coming year. We're just about to put up all of the 2018 forecasts as well, and I'm going to be, as I said, talking about that next time round. Take care. Bye-bye.